Hope I saved that in time. All right, let's see. I think I'm streaming. All right, I can hear my own audio, so that's good. All right, let's see. I think I'm streaming. Let me just see what it's showing. All right, cool. Let me pause my own audio there. Okay, cool. Turn up the volume a little bit. Oh yeah, let's hop over to chat. Hey Chan, welcome in. How's it going? Guitar time says Barney of the Rubble. Well, welcome in Barney of the Rubble. So my headset does have it does prevent musician noises. So I've tried playing guitar into my headset, and it did not pick it up as well. So I'll have to figure out some solution if I'm to ever one day do that. Gibson Lens, welcome in, Bert. How's it going? Last last movie review session wrecked me. I didn't. I got none of them right. One, none. I don't remember. Is it one or none? Hawk Six Phoenix, welcome in. How's it going, Hawk? Candyland. What? Candy? What do you mean Candyland? Oh, oh, oh. What is the nostalgic board game card game that you played as a kid? That's right. Excellent. Thank you for answering that. I was like, wait, I've connected. Sorry, I'm a little slow. Your stream title. Yeah. Got there. Got there. That's funny because I recently played Candyland for with my 3-year-old for the first time, and I was like, "How did Hawk know about Candyland?" I'm like, so I was just like, weird coincidence. um, but anyway, yeah, yeah. So I was like, as like a gamer enthusiast, I'm like, oh, Candyland. I wouldn't play Candyland with like my adult friends, but like Candyland for a kid, it's like, all right, there's not much to do. There's not much to think about. You don't really have to even make decisions. It's just learn how to take turns and match colors. So it's like, and she gets super excited now, my 3-year-old, because she knows and understands like, hey, I want to get to the end. Like, so the objective of a game. But yeah. But anyway, Hawk, you almost scared me because I was like, "Oh, Hawk somehow knows about Candyland. What's going on? What?" And then it connected finally. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right." So what I did was I actually set up my stream title like an hour ago, but then I didn't save it. I didn't say I saved it right before stream, but then I didn't think about it for an hour. So it's like, yeah. So anyway, but welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, Chan, Barney of the Rubble, Gibson Lens, Hawk Six Phoenix, Charlie's Beats. How are you guys doing today? I am applying my cheating gloves as we speak, and I have some cool, fun things to show on stream, if as well later today. And yeah, wondering what kind of board games or card games you guys have nostalgic feelings for as a kid. So let me know. Oh, that's right. I gotta do eyes, otherwise I'm gonna feel left out. Don't screenshot that. All right, okay. So it is getting extremely dry outside, so my fingers are like, it's very tough to get them like even ready, even with the cheating gloves. If anybody doesn't know, Sort Quick is the cheating gloves. Oh, you could barely see that. Cheating gloves. There we go. Sort Quick. How did Hawk know about Candyland? I mean, yeah. Look, Hawk, you're just psychic. That's it, right? That's the end of story. That's the reason. Chris M. Yee, welcome in. How's it going? Hi, Chris. How's everybody doing today? All right, let's first do this. If anybody wants to request anything, there you go. Let me do a trick list to chat. We're gonna go ahead and pin this, and then while we're here, before anything happens, we're gonna give everybody a shout out. So I think basically everybody in here is a streamer, right? So almost everybody. All right, guys. If you are not following our friends in chat, give everybody follow everybody. But first things first. If you're not following our friend and mod Chan the Magic Man, please give Chan the Magic Man a follow. Chan, one of the other few Twitch magicians that has a regular magic schedule. He does magic on Magic Mondays, so give him a follow. You can check him out tomorrow night. All right, guys, if you're not following our friend and mod Gibson Lens, please give Gibson Lens a follow. Gibson Lens, a pianist, will oftentimes play VGM, popular music, esoteric music, and also has a lot of his own composed originals. So please give Gibson Lens a follow. And actually, if you like the Hype Train song that is here, that's actually a Gibson Lens original. So, all right, guys, if you're not following our friend Hawk6 Phoenix, please give Hawk6 Phoenix a follow. Hawk6 Phoenix, psychic. I mean, not really a psychic, but is a pianist as well. Plays VGM, anime music, classical music. Also has been known to do some coding on stream. So definitely check our friend Hawk6 Phoenix out. If you're not following our friend Chris M. Yee, please give Chris M. Yee a follow. Chris M. Yee, a variety gamer, but also, man, where's Chris M. Yee? There. I was like, there's a lot of people with C names in the chat right now. Chris M. Yee, host of the Clip M. Yee show, but also variety gamer. I hopped in the other night, and actually Chris was playing Settlers of Catan. Well, actually, it's called Catan now. It used to be called Settlers of Catan, but now they've rebranded and they're just called Catan now. But anyway, yeah, playing community games with with Catan. So there we go. Guys, you're not following our friend Charlie's Beats. Please give Charlie's Beats a follow. So Charlie has streamed before, and maybe one day will stream again. However, we like to call, well, I like to call him a Twitch music famous chatter because he's basically in every music stream chat that I would hang out in. So please give our friend Charlie's Beats a follow. All right, let's see. All right, catching up with chat, and then let's see. I think thank you for the shout. You're welcome for all the shout outs. My pleasure. Yeah, just like, shouting out, giving everybody recognition. To be honest, like I know that there's not that many people in chat. I'm not really doing it for right now because I put all of my VODs on YouTube. It's just so that people, when they look at the VOD or they watch the YouTube video later, so it's like, all right, everybody go follow everybody. So that's really ultimately why I do it. But it's also fun, and hang out with friends and stuff like that. So, but yeah, okay, cool. So, if anybody wants to request anything, feel free. I think we pinned the trick list. But all right, first things first. I have a magic story. So yesterday I went to my kid's 3-year-old friend, like classmate's 3-year-old birthday, and funny story. I went. Started doing some magic for some of the adults, and one of the other adults, not the people who were running the party, of course, because they knew me, but like one of the other parents that didn't know me, they actually thought, they confessed to me later that they thought that I was hired entertainment for the 3-year-old birthday party. And I'm like, oh no, I'm just a parent of that kid over there. And I like to do sleight of hand magic, and so that was kind of a milestone, I guess. It felt really good because he was like, whoa, oh, okay. Like, he told me later, and I was like, yeah, I'm just a parent of this kid that likes to do magic. So it was fun. It was cool. It was a good time. It was also flattering to think that somebody, hired me to do a 3-year-old kid's birthday party. Checking the gaff meter. Welcome in. How's it going? How you doing, checking the gaff meter? All right. Okay, excellent. So that was that. All right, if anybody's been sitting around for a while and you have not hydrated, please hydrate. Today I'm having peppermint cocoa tea. Okay, I can't sip that too much yet because it's still really hot. But I actually kept the package, so if you guys were curious, you can see it, just so you know. It is peppermint cocoa. There we go. So, checking the gaff meter says, better to be here. Hope you are well, Nam. Thank you kindly checking the gaff meter. I'm mostly doing well. I can't really complain. I mean, I can, but it's kind of useless. And to be fair, it'd be kind of petty. There are some obvious things to complain about in United States political, but we're not going to talk about that. I just want everybody to have a nice time watching magic, talking about nerdy, geeky things here on stream. So I'm not going to step on anything. No landmines here. That's that. Okay, all right. Let's see. So in the interim, while there, if anybody wants to request anything, feel free. I have found, and a lot of people in chat are fans of video games, so I have found some cards because I was doing cleaning of my basement, my office, and so I just want to show you that I found two sets of things that would be super interesting. And I'm glad that Charlie and Gibson Lens are here because I have found my Sonic the Hedgehog trading card game cards. Now, first of all, I don't know what I did with the box, but for storage purposes, it was basically like the instructions and the two decks in like a bigger box, and I think I've just lost the other box. However, yeah, that's right. And so these are, yeah, Sonic X trading card game cards. So let me first, so I'm going to open them on stream, number one, and then number two, let's see if we can do something with them, if possible. I don't think every trick is possible. And to be fair, I haven't even felt these cards. Alright, these cards feel a little cheap, so the likelihood is low, but we're going to open them anyway. So, alright, we're not going to need the instructions because we're not actually going to play right now. But, alright, looks like we have a bunch of requests already. But alright, so take a look. We have here, this is, I guess, Sonic the Hedgehog. So, title of the card, Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic, thumbs up. And I have no idea what any of these numbers mean. I can presume that maybe one is a cost and one is either a strength or a speed or like something. There might be some running total that when you play this, it adds to it for whatever reason. This one features like Knuckles on. So this must be like a Knuckles card. This must be a Tails card. I don't know. These are just guesses. I have no idea. This is Shadow the Hedgehog. So you can see there. Alright, and I have no idea what is separate in these two decks. So this one's also Shadow the Hedgehog. But, so I'm not going to mix these two together. But let's just see what we can do with something. So, alright, let me see. Are any of these unique? Most of these look kind of unique. Hold on, I'm going to try to look at these upside down. But here, I'll spread them out on camera. So if anybody is interested, you can look at them here. Alright, a lot of these look kind of unique. Knuckles, the... Echidna. Echidna? Alright, so I think there might be just one Sonic the Hedgehog with this 5 here. So maybe we could use that as our, what's the first one? Ambitious card routine. Oh, wait. Sonic the Hedgehog. Wait, okay, now there's two Sonic the Hedgehogs here. Okay. Alright, so let's go with this. I'm going to take one of these out for right now. So we know that this is a unique card in this deck, so that there's no possible way I could duplicate it. Oh my god, this riffles so horribly. Alright, we're going to try and do the ambitious card routine with Sonic X trading card game cards. That is what we are going to attempt to do, and it is maybe not the best idea, but we're going to do it anyway. Alright, so here we go. So Sonic the Hedgehog is our selection with the 5. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take Sonic the Hedgehog and place him into the middle of the deck. I guess that's not really the middle. There you go. The middle of the deck. Alright, now importantly, he runs really fast, but the camera will always come back to him because that's when we look at it, look for him, right? So there he is. The camera has now focused back on Sonic the Hedgehog. But he's going to run really fast. So this is when you roll up into that little ball and you go, and he's going to run off camera again. So then you won't be able to see him again. And actually, you try and look around the screen, but he ran so fast. So if we take a look, that's actually not him on camera. Not until you wait a couple seconds for the frame to catch up to Sonic, and now he's back in the middle of frame. There he is, Sonic the Hedgehog with a 5. All right, now some people are speed runners, right? And so they like to do some weird exploits. But look, I'm gonna leave Sonic the Hedgehog sticking out right here. You'll see him right here on the edge of the screen, right? So he's on the very edge of the screen. But then he's going to run off into a different part of the level, and then he's going to run off into another part of the level, and we won't necessarily be able to see him. And so if we try and take a peek like near the bottom of the stage, that's not him. That's like some other Sonic card that has it too. And if we take a look, this is not the Sonic card. That's some other. That's a Tails card. But we should be able to find. If we just give the game long enough to search and then finally put Sonic back in frame in the middle, we will actually be able to see Sonic back in frame on screen. And that is the ambitious card routine with Sonic X trading card game cards. All right, hopefully that was okay. I know you didn't redeem anything, Chan the Magic Man, but hopefully that was all right. And so, yeah, so there we go. That is all right, Sonic the Hedgehog. All right, cool. Let's see. While we have the Sonic cards out, okay. Let's do something interesting. Thank you kindly for the claps. Charlie's Beats, Gibson Lens, Hawk6 Phoenix. Alright, and it looks as though checking the gaff meters request is snap change transpo. Alright, let's try and do something here. So, look, we have Knuckles, the Echidna. I'm just going to call him Knuckles. And then we have Sonic. So, look, if I go ahead and I place Sonic here just for a second, and you'll see that here's Knuckles. But all I have to do is... And look, that's now Sonic. But look, if I show you what this card is actually Knuckles. Is that strange? That's super strange, right? Alright. Whew. So full disclosure, I think if I did not wear cheating gloves, that would not have been possible. Like, I think if the cards were better, there's a chance it would be okay. But, like, the fact is, these cards are not good for sleight of hand. And actually, if anybody plays a lot of... Let me see. Oh, with a hard C? Echidna. Alright. Thanks for letting me know. I am not that familiar. So, I never had a Sega as a kid, so... I would catch up with these, like, much later in my life if I ended up playing them, but... Of course, they're not really speaking. But yeah, if anybody's familiar with like collectible card game cards, so normally good quality ones will have 3 layers. They'll have like a front layer, a back layer, and then a middle layer. You're not here to see this, but if I actually put this up to the light, I can see through this card. And so that's how cheap these Sonic cards are. So unfortunately, these are not the best for performing magic with. But I just wanted to show them off and do some stuff with them. Looks like we did, so glorious. Let's see here. And all right, while I am opening up my trick list and managing some stuff really quick, I recently kickstarted a new old game. So one of the games that I used to love was a collectible card game called Overpower. It was called Marvel Overpower a long time ago, but then DC Overpower came out. But there's going to be a new version, so because somebody got the rights to the Overpower game, but it's not going to be Marvel or DC because obviously they don't have the rights for that. But they're going to have like characters that are like open to the world. So like the mythological gods are some characters. Like Sherlock Holmes is a character. So like and a bunch of other open like characters. So anyway, that's one of the games that I was like, oh, let me just think about this as a question because then I can talk about that. But yeah, so I kickstarted it. I don't know if it's over. It might actually be over already, but I was like, all right, sweet. It's gonna meet its goal. So I'm excited for that. So if anybody's familiar with Overpower. All right, next up we have a request from. Hold on, Hawk6 Phoenix. All right, for the invisible deck. All right, and this is one of the tricks that I normally only do once per stream. So let's go ahead and get ready for that. All right, here we go. Here I have a deck. Hawk6 Phoenix, would you like to make a selection? Because here's what I will do. Let me send the deck to you through the internet pipes, and then you will receive it through the internet pipes. It'll be invisible when it gets to you. So, all right, here we go. Ready? Okay, all right. There we go. Going through the internet pipes. Hopefully you receive the deck in a second or two. And excellent. Hopefully you've caught it. Now, once you have it, go ahead and take all of the cards out of the deck. And take a look through them. I know you might not be able to see anything, but just go with your gut. And then when you feel one of the cards that you want, make sure you take it out, you note it, remember which card that it was, turn it face down, and then put it back into the deck, and then close it up. And then put the cards back in the box, close up the box, and then send the cards back through the internet pipes to me, and then let me know when you've done all that, and I will catch the internet pipe cards. And I just took a sip of tea, so if you guys are drinking some tea or water or whatever your beverage of choice is, feel free. Okay, done. Here you go. All right, here we go. Here we go. When you do the diaper catch. Anybody remember, like, if you were in gym class, like in elementary school, you get diaper catch. Catch the. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right. Okay, excellent. Okay, so here's the deck. At this point, I will not break away from the screen, but Hawk6 Phoenix, thank you for the wonderful throw. My local football team here, I think, is doing okay. I'm not into sports ball, but all my friends and neighbors and my Facebook blows up, and it's like I don't think they played today, but they played last week and they won, so it's like okay. It's okay to go ahead and tell me in chat what your card was. What was the card that you selected? And hopefully, if we look through the deck at that point, all will be revealed. But if anybody's curious, I'm not really into sports ball, but the people around me, they're all like Bills. They're a fan of the Buffalo Bills. Oh, I can't remember. Oh wait, this is two of spades. Okay, two of spades. That's fine. You remembered eventually, so we got there. All right, two of spades. Okay. So, Alstro Art, welcome in. How's it going? Good evening. All right. So first things first. Two of spades. At this point, that's the one you turned over. All right. So, hey, E-Room. Welcome in. How's it going, E-Room? E-Room coming into stream with a bang. All right. So, here's what we're going to do. All right. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to pull these cards out. Okay. And let's go ahead. Hi, E-Room. How's it going? So let's see here. We're going to have, I don't know if you know, but there's actually one card that's turned in the opposite direction. So, yeah, if we take a look. Jane Gaffney says, I'm so sorry, I was within earshot and still managed to miss my trick request. My bad. Oh. It's okay. I did do it. But I did it with Sonic cards, so I can go back. We can do it with regular cards. It's okay. It was a quick trick. I can do it again. It's not a big deal. All right. So, but okay. So we have one card facing in the opposite direction, and So the selection was the two of spades. Would it be amazing if this was the two of spades? Because like none of these, right? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Ready? Is it the two of spades? Yes, it is. And there we have it, friends. And that is the invisible deck. Through the internet pipes version.
He just blew my mind.
E-Room says, he just blew my mind. Thank you for the mind blown, E-Room. All right. Thank you kindly for the claps, Hawk6 Phoenix, and the applause, E-Room, and the claps, and the ooh Astro art. Thank you. Thank you kindly. All right. For anybody who came in, the question of the day is, what was a nostalgic card game or board game that you played as a kid? So far, Hawk6 Phoenix has said Candyland. I said Marvel Overpower. I mean, I had many card games and board games that I was very nostalgic about, but yeah, one of the other things is if we have a bunch of time, but we won't do that one yet. Okay, all right. Actually, okay, this might be a good time to show this next thing. Gibson Land says, I'm not too nostalgic about board games, but I'll say Fireball Island. Fireball Island! Wait, is that the one where it's like figures on like the board and the board is like traps and stuff, and then like one of the traps is like a big volcanic fireball that rolls down the track? Is that what I'm talking about? Is that what you're talking about? E-Room says the Trouble game or Sorry game. Oh, okay. Gibson Lens says yes. All right. Okay, that was the one. All right. I know of the game that you were talking about, Gibson Lens. I have never actually played it, but I saw the advertisements for it, and I talked with a couple friends that owned it, and I was like, "That game seems so cool," and I never got a chance to like really play it. But yeah, but so E-Room is a fan of like some good old American classics, Trouble and Sorry. Um, so if you guys aren't familiar, Trouble and Sorry are games in which you have basically pawns moving along a board, and you're trying to get them basically to a home square. It's a little bit different because Trouble, you're basically doing like random dice rolls with like a popper in the middle, and then Sorry is you're playing cards around a board, and so there's some agency there. Like Trouble is, I feel like luck based, but at least Sorry is like there's agency. So not to be critical of like American board games or anything, but I love talking about board games. So see, Gibson Lent says you could pop a lot of trouble in the pop-o-matic bubble. Trouble, trouble. that, that was the commercial jingle, right? Yeah. Hawk6 Phoenix says I don't remember Trouble. I played a lot of Sorry. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. Yeah, like I played Trouble. I don't think I thoroughly enjoyed Trouble, but now I know things a lot better. Welcome in, Candace. How's it going? Uh, let's see, Candace. Wait, did I walk into a board game discussion? Yeah, Candace. Yes, you are correct. Because my question in my title today is, what nostalgic board game, card game did you play as a kid, or that you have nostalgic memories about? So if you remember, feel free to answer. But I love board games, so I could talk about board games all day. Let's see. There's strategy in Trouble deciding which piece to move. Oh, yes. I did say that there wasn't much agency, but no, you are correct. Yeah, there is a choice because you have to choose which pawn to move if you can move multiple. Chris M. says, my favorite when I was a kid was Mousetrap. Oh, Mousetrap. I loved how kinetic it was. Yeah, Mousetrap was amazing from like a visual standpoint. Like not only did the ads like show all of that off, but like when you played the game, it was a lot calmer. Like traps didn't go off all the time, but like when a trap did go off, like all the quiet turns were just like it would just build up the anticipation like, oh, somebody's gonna get caught. Like, yeah. Um, let's see. We used to fill the tub with water, and the the diver would dive into it. Lol. Oh man. Clue will probably always be my favorite. Candace, that is a choice. So yeah, Clue is another like American classic game. There is actually like deduction, so there's logical deduction in Clue. There's so now that I've played like a lot of modern games, there are some things that bother me about Clue, but like for the most part, I understand. Like yeah, Clue back then was like an amazing game. So all right, let's see. Let me go ahead and grab. Let me see here. Let me grab a couple of cards really quick. And oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Um, Before we proceed with the next trick, which will be countdown packet, let me just go back and just do a checking the gaff meter trick. Checking the gaff meter. So this one's for you. So look, here we have checking the gaff meter signed 4 of spades and a 10 of hearts. Now if I go ahead and I place the 10 of hearts just down here really quick, and I'm going to go ahead and try and swap these. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. We are going to go ahead and do that over. Ha! Okay. You know, I did it perfectly with the cards that suck. Then I try and go and do it with these cards. All right. Anyway, we're gonna mulligan that. Mulligan. You saw nothing, says Chan. Thanks, Chan. Thanks, Chan, for covering for me. All right, here we go. All right, we have the checking the gaff meter, 4 of spades, and the 10 of hearts. All right, cool. If I leave the 10 of hearts down here, I'm gonna go ahead and try and swap these. Okay, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. There we go. That probably looked a lot better. All right, now here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and show you that that was that. Ta-da! All right, there we go. That is that's the trick. Checking the gaff meter is getting me in trouble because I'm messing up the trick. uh, with the cheap ass see-through cards. What? Yeah, doing this is basically impossible with the see-through with the clear cards. You will see stuff. Close enough. Let's see. Candice says, trying to remember what we had board game wise. Sorry, Parcheesi, Payday, Candyland, Shoots and Ladders, Monopoly, and of course Life. Do it with the okay. All right, now that everybody knows how this trick is done, I will do it with the clear cards. I'll do it free of charge. Nobody needs to redeem. Okay, all right. Here we go. We'll do this quick, and then we're going to talk about more about board games in a second, and then I'll prep for the next trick. All right, so here we have the 6 of spades and the king of diamonds. All right, so look, if I leave the king of diamonds here on the table, all I have to do... Oh, sorry. If I leave the 6 of... whatever it was. I have the king of diamonds here in my... Okay, ready? It was 6 of spades, right? Oh, look at that! Totally changed it. And now look, here's what I'm gonna do. Alright, ta-da! And now that is the... I've just revealed the secrets of magic. Full disclosure, there's a tutorial for this on YouTube available for free. Not mine, but it's somebody else's. So, there you go. Alright, that was probably the only time where I directly acknowledged that I'm giving that away. But anyway, hopefully you guys understand how difficult that move is. So once again, I'll just show you from up here. Yeah, the move is this. And if you're probably wondering, wow, how does he do that? Yes, it takes hours, like tens of hours, to get it to a point where it's like smooth-ish. All right. So hold on. Yeah. So all the and Risk. Yes. So Risk is actually, I would say, a really good, well-crafted game. There is some luck, but by and large, people who have better strategies in Risk will do better than people who don't have strategies or like different levels of strategy. But ultimately, if it's like people who are at roughly the same level, the game can be a slog. It takes a long time, and it could just come down to luck of some dice rolls. But like by and large, like it's mostly a seal game until like you're probably at the top level, in which case there is some luck for Risk. But Risk is still played now, and it's actually probably more popular now than like ever. But a lot of people like to play Risk online because it takes away all of, like the fiddly math and stuff and bits. So it's like, oh, I don't have to worry about trading in cards and like taking physical armies and putting them down. Like, you get rid of all that. And it's like, oh, everybody loves playing Risk. So, but yeah. All right, cool. So yeah, we did the clear cards. There you go. Oh, thanks for the heat map. I will go ahead and eat that. Um, Checking the me says, I was saying yes. I heard earlier part about the Sonic cards being see through, and yeah, I believe you did perfectly. I did do the trick perfectly with the cheap Sonic cards, and I was like, oh my god, I cannot believe I failed on the real cards. Thank you. You're welcome. My pleasure. Risk takes too long. It depends on who you play with and how cutthroat they are, and yeah, how turtley everybody is. But it can take a long time, yes. But as I said, if you play it like online, it takes out all of like the administrative stuff. So it's actually not that long a game if people just aren't going slow with everything else. So worth the risk. Risk takes two. Okay, yeah, that's right. Chris M. says, I'm still getting the hang of Catan. Yo, all right, so all right, Chris, remind me to come back to that after this trick. But if we haven't talked about the strategy of Catan, let me give you some strategies. Although you did pretty well, and you were what? You were second yesterday, right? So let's see. Candace says, remember the Seinfeld episode where Kramer and Newman were playing Risk and carried the board with them everywhere? I never really watched Seinfeld that much, but I don't think I remember like watching that whole episode, but I remember seeing either clips or maybe I did see parts of that episode when they're just carrying the board. It was hilarious. Yeah. Chris says, "Yeah, my third game ever." Oh, okay. So actually, Chris, while you are tell me what you have figured out as a strategy or as strategies that you could do in Catan, and then we will talk about that in a minute. So anyway, I'm gonna set up for this trick and then perform it, and then we'll go from there. um, let's see here. I also have to remember not to forget how to do the trick. But also, has anybody else played Catan or Settlers of Catan? I'd be interested to know. So that was also another early board game that got me into lots of other board games. I did play a few other ones before that one, but like it was super popular for a long time, and now I feel like mainstream America is like, I mean, it's probably been in mainstream America for the last like 5 to 6 years, but yeah. So okay, let me see here. Boom, boom, boom. Nope, I needed to do this. Okay, there we go. Gibson Lynn says, I played Catan when it was relatively new. Chris says, well, I was only thinking of like road settlements and not development cards or anything else. Ah, okay, gotcha. Alstar Art says, yeah, I don't know. It feels like Catan made board games cool. Ah, okay, excellent. Let's see. Alstro Art says, strategy, always maximize your sheep count. I love these. This is wonderful. All right. We'll talk about that after I perform countdown packet. All right, here we go. So first things first. I have a packet of cards, and you never have to count for this trick. You never have to count the number of cards in the packet because every card in the packet is going to have the number of cards in the packet, right? And so here, if I go ahead and I just let me just turn these over, and then what we have here, if I go ahead and I remove one of the fours, we're now just going to have a packet filled with threes, and you'll know that it's filled with threes because, look, if we look at any of them, it is a ton of cards with threes, right? And so, and look, if I remove a three, now there's two cards in the packet, but we don't actually have to. We don't actually have to count them. We can look at any of the cards in the packet, and they will actually be twos. And then actually, if I remove one of the twos, we have one card left in the packet, but it's not going to be a one because obviously ones are represented by aces. And so here we have ace of spades. And that, my friends, is the countdown packet. And of course, I had to use the Ace of Spades because it's signed by Charlie's Beats, and I like to use the card of the requester if possible. So there we go. Candace says, "Gotta run. Have a great night. Love from New York City. Thanks for stopping in, Candace. Have a glorious night. Take care. Sleep well." And I understand it is late. I'm on the East Coast as well. I'm in upstate, Western New York. So thank you kindly for the caps. Caps. Yo, don't give me any caps. Yo, thank you kindly for the claps. I guess don't give me claps either. I mean, give me those claps, but not. Anyway, man, I should just shut up. That's. Thank you kindly for the claps. Gibson Lens, Alstro Art, Chris M. Yee, Charlie's Beats, Hawk6 Phoenix, E Room, Chan the Magic Man. No cap. Yeah, don't bust a cap. All right. Hawk6 Phoenix says, "I don't know how to play Catan, but I taught a summer class where one lesson was just to play board games, and Catan was one of the games we had." Awesome. Yeah, I think board games are like great for community events or like getting people to be together without screens. Like, because I feel like games have been around forever, and they really have. And it's just like, if people are concerned about, anyway, let's talk specifically about Catan. All right, cool. So maximizing your sheep count is here's the thing. When you look at your card of the things that you can spend your resources on, prioritize what you want to do. And the things that you want to prioritize first is somehow getting more resources. So when you first start the game, you're really on like two plots, and those plots might be sucky. And so either prioritize building settlements quickly or upgrading your existing settlements to be cities. So that's the first thing you want to do, because once you have more resources, you can basically kind of do whatever you want, like more efficiently. Whether you get to a dock, like it doesn't really matter how you get the more resources, just get them. So whatever like your hand is either more conducive to, or whatever opportunities are on the board or things like that. All right, Chris says, "Yeah, you've got to plan that out when you're putting those settlements down." Yep, I was thinking too hard about roads. Yeah, so you don't have to think too hard about roads unless you're going to go for the longest road achievement. So for anybody who hasn't played Catan, it's basically a game in which you have some either settlements or cities, and you get resources, and you're trying to get to 10 points first before anybody else. There's a bunch of different ways to get points, but some of the points aren't permanent. So you can get points and you can hold on to it like a trophy, but then if somebody beats that achievement, like beats that Guinness World Record, they will take those points away from you. And so there's a bunch of things that you can do. So yeah, unless you really need that longest road, don't worry about roads. Just get to the point where you're going to have like just a few settlements, like 2 or 3, usually enough, and then start upgrading. The Rusty Panda, welcome in. How's it going? OMG, I was just playing Catan on my phone. Lol. Yeah, that is hilarious. Yeah. Hello, friends. Hello. Welcome in. How you doing? Yeah, we are just question of the day is, what is a nostalgic card game, board game that you played as a kid? So if you want to share yours, we were just talking about Catan because Chris MU was playing Catan on stream the other day, and we're now talking about strategy. But anyway. Yeah, so start increasing resources. Once you increase resources, that'll help give you options. But you don't need to like worry. Like if you feel like you've already getting enough resources, you don't need to worry about another settlement unless that settlement's going to get you more points, or you need those specific resources that you can't possibly get. But the other thing is start thinking about how to diplomatically like coerce people to convince them to basically trade with you. Whatever tactics you can use. I have purchased development cards and just not looked at them, and I've just threatened to have a knight just be like, "Hey, you want to trade with me? No, if you don't, I'm going to turn this knight and steal something from you." Like, so if you have 2 or 3 of those, that's great. If you end up just getting points, that's okay. Those are secret points. You don't have to reveal those until you basically win. But for the knights, you usually want to stay ahead, but also have some face down so that you can use them to coerce people. The thing is, the first 1 or 2 times, you do want to back up your threat, but then like after that, you can make the threat and people tend to listen to you kind of thing. So it's like that's another strategy you can use to get additional like leverage in like trading in the game. Let's see, what else? Ports. If you can get a 2-for-1 port for a resource that you have a lot on. So normally my two initial settlements are like I'm gonna get on a like a high productivity plot for a resource, and then I try and get the 2-for-1 port for it because then you can end up trading two goods for one good. And honestly, it doesn't matter what you end up getting. Also, don't value like the high probabilities like 8 and 6. Like if you put all of your things on 8 and 6 and every other number gets rolled, then it's actually not very good for you. If you're going to go the settlement route, try and diversify as many numbers as possible. Like make sure if you have every number like covered, you will always get resources basically. So instead of being like, oh, I just want like 8 and 6, 8 and 6, try going like 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, and then you'll basically get resources like all the time. So Rusty Panda says, I go anti-social route and I play on ports. Yeah, so I don't have to trade with people. Lol. I mean, that's a way to do it. Certainly, it's less efficient. You could do it that way, but it's definitely more efficient to do it to go the trading route. But yeah, you really don't need sheep unless you need the sheep for a settlement or a development card. So like sheep are okay, but like most of the other ones are more important. But yeah, don't underestimate upgrading one of your settlements to a city early. So like one of the things that I've done, like I've tried to do super early, is if I can get on a plot that has like an ore or whatever you guys were calling the mountain one, but I call it ore, like ore and wheat, then I will just wait until I can get like enough ore and wheat to just upgrade my first, and then I'll just have a thing like by turn 3 or something that makes double. So if you're getting it that early, then the number of dice rolls over the lifetime of the game it pays out huge. So. All right, I see a request for revolver fully loaded. Let's go ahead and find some cards for that. But yeah. Elster Art says, I like calling the resource by the wrong name and trying to get players to use the wrong name over the course of the game. Awesome. That's definitely a fun thing to do, yeah. We were calling, so like we've called wheat straw, we've called wood trees, and then we got to the point where it's like instead of calling like bricks clay or whatever, we called bricks bacon. So yeah, that was definitely a fun thing I have done as well. Yo yo yo, what do you need? Oh, I need some bacon. All right, I'll give you some. Oh man, yeah, I don't board game as much as I'd like to at this point, but maybe maybe I'll get back to it. I did meet up with my board game friends earlier this month, so that was nice. Okay, all right. Let's see here. We have 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I too need. You too need bacon. That's right, Chris M.E. Yeah, you need bacon and straws and well, let's see. What was our fun name for sheep? I think we just call it like I think we called sheep T-shirts once. That's not very common, but all right, here we go. So the next trick up, we have the Ace of Spades, the 2 of Spades, the 3 of Spades, the 4 of Spades, the 5 of Spades, and the 6 of Spades. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that in order for this trick to work, we have to use our handguns, and then we have to go bang. So if anybody wants to do trigger some sound alerts, you're welcome. This trick is all full of them. I see the AMA. Hey, E-Room. Thank you for the. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fire off the first bullet. So you'll notice that the ace has turned itself face down. Yeah, we'll answer that after this trick. So here's the 5, the 4, the 3, the 2, the 6, and there's our ace. Now we're going to go ahead and fire off our second bullet. So if anybody wants to go ahead and handgun and bang! Oh, that was great timing, E-Room. So here we have our 5, 4, 3, 6, and there's our 2. All right, excellent. So now let's go ahead and shoot off our third bullet. All right, here we go. Bang! Chen the Magic Man's got it. And so here we have our 5 and 4 and 6 and ace and 2, and there's our face down 3. All right, excellent. So now let's go ahead and we're going to go and shoot off our fourth. So handgun, and we're going to go ahead and fire. Anybody ready for it? We're locked and loaded. Bang! All right, E-room's on top of it. Okay, so now here we go. Here's our 5, our 2, our ace, our 6, and there's our 4, and there's our 3. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and fire off our fifth bullet. Okay, here we go. Get ready. Bang! All right, E-room's got it. Okay, so here's our 6, ace, 2, 3, 4, and there's our 5. Okay, and then finally we're going to fire off our 6th. Whoa! Chan the Magic Man is right on top of it because if we take a look, here's our 4, 3, 2, ace. There's our 6, and here's our 5. All right. Wow, that was like the fastest we've run through those. Those are the most guys. Give yourselves a round of applause for all those bangs in quick succession. Hey, hey. Unless that's part of the applause. Excellent, excellent. Now here's the thing. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and flip this back over, and you might be thinking, so hold on. If you didn't realize, during all of those gunshots, we thought that perhaps everybody was okay because if we look at all of their blue uniforms on the back, everybody's okay, right? Off the ace, off the 2, off the 3, off the 4, off the 5, and off the 6. Everybody had a blue uniform, right? However, let me just tell you that once upon closer inspection, people didn't realize that they were grazed, and luckily they were all bad guys. So they're all bloody. Everybody is extremely bloody. If we take a look, everybody, yeah, here. That, my friends, is revolver fully loaded. So, yeah. So to fill everybody else in, yeah, there's a shorter version of that, which is called revolver. But revolvers have 6 bullet chambers, and that bothered me because the normal trick is done with 4, and so I did it with 6. And so, and you're probably wondering how this translates to 6, but in American Sign Language counting, this is 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Anyway, so yeah, this is 6 to me, but I know a lot of other people. 6, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, revolvers have 6 bullet chambers. I'm like, that bothers me. I need to make a 6-card version. So this is the version. Okay, so next up we have an AMA that I have to answer. I did see a bunch of text, so hold on. Let me look at that again. Oh, the Rusty Panda said Millsborn was a childhood one. It's a French driving game. It's actually a lot of fun. Rusty Panda, so first of all, I have Millsborn cards. I've never played the game, like, for real. I was like, ooh, let me try and play it for real. Couldn't find anybody to play it with me. So maybe one of these days. So I have it somewhere. Let me find it. Maybe I can bring it to stream at some point. But yeah, I've heard of Millsborn, and I have a copy somewhere in the house. I just don't know where it is. E-Room asks, did you ever get into in real life or IRL D&D? I was really into it in my mid-teens. Then again, when I was another group in my early 20s, we played a lot. I had all the miniatures, trees, accessories, etc. I even made a big dungeon from styrofoam. That's so awesome. It was very detailed. It was a good time. E-Room, that's so awesome. So first, let me just say I'm a huge fan of D&D and tabletop RPGs in general. However, when I played as a kid, I just played like single one-off adventures because it was just me, my brother, and like my best friend, and that didn't really make a great adventuring party, and we weren't very experienced, like, and the 3 of us, so like one of us would had to have been the DM, and so my best friend and I switched off. My brother's younger, so, but we just did a few one-off adventures. It was just kind of like using our imagination. There was some sessions where it was like all 3 of us were just brainstorming ideas, and we were all DMing like the same adventure. But so we didn't really play it correctly as you know, as a kid. But I had a D&D box, advanced D&D box, and we made characters. We played some sessions, and it wasn't until I went to Gen Con when I was older, like in the past 10 years, like I played like a single adventure for real at Gen Con. And I was like, wow, I we didn't know and understand any of all the complexities about the specific lore, specific magic, all of the classes, the nuances of monsters and stuff when we played as a kid. So I was like, wow, there's a lot of stuff to this game now. um, but yeah, by the time that happened, I think it was D&D version 4, I think, and everybody like talks about D&D version 3.5 like being like the best. And for anybody who has never played, it doesn't really matter what version you play. Just play the one that your friend is going to host. But um, yeah, I love the idea of tabletop role playing. I don't have time to have a dedicated time slot with a consistent group of friends to do a campaign. Not that I wouldn't be interested. I'm sure I would love it, but yeah. So love D&D. Um, there's been some, how shall I say, rumblings with the company that currently owns the rights and manages D&D, like the last year. But anyway, we're not gonna get into that. I did get into it last year, so I was just like, all right. Thank you kindly for the claps and the emotes. E-Room, the Rusty Panda, Chris M. Yee, Charlie's Beats, Gibson Lens. Thanks for clearing that, Chan. Nice one. Yeah, and Alstro Art, thank you. All right, so yeah, that's my experience with D&D. Generally love D&D. I'm sure I would love it more if I could get into it more. There's this really cool thing at Gen Cons and some other big gaming conventions called True Dungeon, and it's basically like, think of it as like a role-playing game session combined with like a puzzle room session. And so you combine those things for like a full 2 hours. Your group, which if you can fill up the entire room, it's like you and your friends. But otherwise, you're put in with a bunch of other random people, and everybody takes a class, and you go into different rooms, and each room either has like one puzzle or one boss to fight. And basically, by the end of the 2 hours, you're basically given a score whether you've made it through everything or not. But basically, it's super cool because like the puzzle ones, it's like, all right, everybody's got to work together, find the clues, solve the puzzle. And then the battle ones, it's like a shuffleboard mechanic where you put your weapon into a thing and then you slide it across like a really long table, shuffleboard style, trying to get it into like bosses, like hitboxes and stuff. Um, but yeah, after you do like 7 or 8 rooms, so you have like 10 or 15 minutes in each room, you basically get through the whole adventure. And at the end, you get loot, and your loot are these little chips or pogs. And I don't think I have them immediately available, but I was thinking about having them kind of, because I might do tricks with like poker chip like things or something. But anyway, but yeah, True Dungeon is like an experience to try once if you've never done it. But yeah, I'm in the midst of cleaning things, so. E-Room says, cool, my teen group was 3, sometimes 4 of us. My 20 group was about a dozen of us, and yeah, the party split. Whoever involved would have to leave the room. Lol, we played one night each week for several hours and rotated host houses from week to week. It was cool. Yeah, that sounds awesome. I think if we had enough people and other people were like dedicated DMs and some more knowledge, I'm sure it could have been a thing with my friend group. But no, I ended up going down the path of collectible card games. That's why I own so many card game cards. So, all right. Thank you for the AMA, and all right. So let's see. All right. Nothing's in the queue. If anybody wants to request anything, feel free. But now is a good time for me to show the next nostalgic thing. And I don't know how long I've had this, but I'm going to show it off. So I know we have a bunch of people who are into video games. I found this, and I was like, oh, no way. Okay, so, ready? It is a Mario Party card game. Not only does it have real physical cards in there, but the intent of it was to be used with the Game Boy Advanced. The Game Boy Advanced had a reader, and you could slide these cards across the reader to have it somehow affect the game inside. I know, crazy. So let me go ahead and open the box and show you the cards. Now, full disclosure, I don't have a Game Boy Advance, nor did I have this reader. I believe it was my brother's, and I think that has at least been. I remember that card reader says Chris 78. Yeah, I remember that has been lost to history. But I did pull these out when I found them like about a week ago, just to make sure that all the cards were in good condition. I was like, oh my god, none of these are damaged. So I was actually super surprised. So anyway, this Mario Party card game, and here's what the backs look like. It's at first I was like, wait, is it this way? Because I always thought the Nintendo was always at the bottom, but it's actually at the top, and so this is the correct way. So Mario Party E indicates the e-reader. That was the e-reader for the Game Boy Advance, and so here's what these look like on the back. Now most of these are going to be the same because I think the bulk of them are coins. But let me just show you. Let me just zoom in on one of these coins. So like if you take a look on the side, there's like a strip of random symbols that appear to be like big stars, little stars, some dots and things like that. I'm assuming whatever and however the encoding for coin is on there, that's what you would slide across the reader, and then it would somehow pick up. Now, back then I would have not understood how this works, but like I think I generally understand how this could have worked, but like now we have things like QR codes and things. It's like it's way more complicated. But yeah, this is probably just some value that looks up to like a lookup table and then finds like, oh hey, it's referencing this object. Okay, what does it do? All right, so, but yeah, if we take a look, so here's a coin, and the coin's text says, place this card in play before playing cards with coin icons. For example, you must have 2 coins in play to use an item card. So, and so we have a lot of these coins here. So let's just get through all the coins, and then we'll show you all the other ones. And I believe, so here's Superstar's hat. There's a few of those. And, oh yeah, and those have 2 coins, so I'm presuming that that's how items work. Okay, here's Superstar's clothes. Got a few of those. Superstar's shoes. That's cool, like a barcode. Yeah, I'll show it. Yeah, exactly. This is Superstar. That's a star. I don't know how this is an item. It doesn't look like there's a cost. Let me see. Take one. All right, I'm just gonna read it. Take one item card from any opponent's in-play cards, or add it to your in-play cards. Or if you have 3 different item cards in play, play the Superstar card to win. Oh, okay. This is a win condition. So you can win the game by playing the Superstar. Okay. So here's Mario. And then I think the next one is the upgraded version of Mario. Super Mario. And then we have Luigi. And then we'll have Super Luigi. Yup, that's right. Super Luigi. Donkey Kong. Wait, do we have Super Donkey Kong? No. Okay, so Donkey Kong is by himself. Princess Peach. Oh, and this part bothered me because when I looked at this again, I was like, it's not Super Princess Peach? So, and I was like, I don't know about you guys, especially with the new movie out, like, Princess Peach should totally be called Super Princess Peach. But what they call her, Graceful Princess Peach. I mean, she is that, but Super, she is definitely Super. Daisy, is there a Super? Nope. So I never knew how to pronounce this guy's name. It's either Lakitu or Lakitu, and I'm not entirely sure. But I think it's Lakitu. Toad. They should call her Toadstool Princess Peach. I mean, that'd also be accurate. Ba-bam. Oh yeah, this is also funny because one of the movies that Gibson Lens watched and reviewed on last stream was the Mario Brothers movie, not the new one, the original 1993 one. No Super Toad. Yeah, no Super Toad. I'm sorry. Chain Chomp, Shy Guy, Goomba with a hat, Bowser, Koopa Troopa, Boo, two Boo. All right, I must have skipped past this one. Is that an upgraded version of Boo, or is this literally just 2 Boo? All right, I don't know. Yoshi, Big Boo. Oh, okay, there's the upgraded version of Boo. Waluigi. Super Waluigi. I can see that they're getting creative with these now. Wario. All right. Super Wario. All right, yeah. And that is all the cards. So that is all of the cards, and and the only other things I have in here are like the playmat and the instruction book. So here's the instructions. But surprisingly, looks a lot like a video game instruction booklet. And I was like, oh, that's a nice little touch. So for anybody who grew up in the 90s and got a game, all the instruction booklets basically used to look like this. So this is a very nice touch, I'd say. I haven't read these rules, but I would imagine that it's laid. It looks like it's laid out pretty decently. I don't want to make, I guess, quick judgments, but yeah, bring back booklets. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's do some magic with the Mario cards. All right, let's see here. What will we not mix up? Okay, let's items are purple. Wait, do we just have? Okay. All right, we have 4 coins that are green, and then we'll use a hat, clothes, shoes, and I need another one that's purple. All right, let's have 2. Well, conceptually there are 2 shoes, right? So instead of a pair of shoes, let's have 2 shoes. Okay. All right, here we go. I'm going to attempt to do. Let me see here. Let's hope it gets the right one. No, wait. Oil and water. All right. Let's hope it gets the right one. Nope, that's not the one. I could do that one. We could probably do that one, right? Okay, so let's pretend that I have these green coins and these purple clothes. You would not at a quick glance mix up coins with clothes, right? Because you have to convert coins to clothes in real life. But here, I'm going to go ahead and take one of these and place it amongst these. I'm going to take this coin and place it amongst these. Now, if I close them up, if I go ahead and I just snap, would you believe that I could kick the coin and the clothes back to their proper piles? Because, look, if I show you now, we have purple, 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 purple. And then over here, we've got coin. Oh, no. I've messed this up. Hold on, I got to reset. Okay. I just realized uh, I can just reset on screen. I didn't have to. All right, okay. Where were we? Oh, yes, okay. So, 4 green coins, 4 sets of clothes items. All right, I'm going to take one of these, place it over here. I'm going to take one of these, place it over here. All right, let's close this up. Full disclosure, these cards are also not amazing for doing magic with, but they seem at least potentially doable. All right, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and snap, and I'm going to kick the coin from here back into here, and kick the set of clothes back from here to over here. So now if we take a look, here we see coin, 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 and then here we see clothes, 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 right? All right, excellent, cool. So here, let's go ahead and if I go ahead and I just place 2 coins, and we have 2 clothes, 2 clothes. Now if I place 2 clothes on 2 coins, 2 coins on 2 clothes. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Now if I snap, we're actually going to put everything back into their proper pile. So over here, you'll just see clothes. So clothes, 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 clothes. And then over here, we'll see coin, 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 right? Okay, so this is the only part that's going to be face down for this. So here, and then over here. So now if I go ahead and I take the coin and place it amongst these clothes and put it amongst these coins, and here's the part that's going to be face down. We're going to turn face down. I just realized these are very busy looking on the back. Now if I snap, it's going to make everything jump back into their correct pile, because now if I show you over here, we have clothes, 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 clothes. And then over here, it will be coins, 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 coins. There we go. And that, my friends, is a card trick with Mario Party e-reader cards from the card game. This, I probably should have called tonight like Nintendo. No, actually, because we had Sega cards earlier. So video game cards stream. All right. Oh, cool. Thanks for clearing that, Chan. All right, excellent. Thank you kindly for the claps. Alstro Art, E Room, Gibson Lens, Chan the Magic Man. All right, so yeah, so for those of you who are not aware, this was a thing. It was a thing. um, so now I got to put these back. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to leave these out. But I'm surprised at how decently good condition these are for how old they are. Like these are probably, I don't even know when this came out. 2003. So this deck of cards is probably 20 years old, and they mostly look good. I'm impressed. So, all right. Okay. So, let's see what else. Once again, the queue is empty. If anybody wants to request anything, feel free. Otherwise, I can also show another thing. So one of the other card games I was into as a kid, and actually, some of you guys knew this. Oh no, I don't want to destroy the instruction booklet. Hold on, I gotta rearrange this. And then, so I don't destroy the instruction booklet. There we go. Okay, everything fits nicely into the box. There we go. And if anybody wants to see the e-reader again, there you go. There's the UPC if anybody cares, if anybody wants it for whatever reason. E-Room's got another. Oh, E-Room's got a scandal. Oh no, E-Room. Also, it's in the same five. Okay, guys. Scandalous shuffling. Getting him back out is part of the scandal. Yeah, it is. All right, guys. E-Room has requested that I scandal it. Okay, so Mario deck, cut the deck into two equal piles, place them side by side table, turn one pile 90 degrees, also turn the same pile over face up, now shuffle. So I'm going to shuffle these at a 90-degree angle and face up into face down. All right. Okay, I feel like that's not actually going to be as bad. All right. So normally I would shuffle like this. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is turn one 90 degrees and then also turn that pile face up. Okay, and now shuffle. All right. This seems doable. Even though I will feel maybe that wasn't a very good one. Hold on, let me do it. Oh no, because I have to do it at the 90-degree angle. All right. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, here we have it. A scandalous shuffle for the Mario Party cards. So we have all of these cards facing in this direction and all of these cards facing in this direction. And there we have it. There you go, E-Room. Thank you kindly for the scandal. It's not every day you thank somebody for a scandal. Not every day, nope. There are some times in which you prefer a scandal over other days. I feel like maybe a Tuesday may be the best day for a scandal. I don't know. Informal poll. If there was a day for a scandal, which day would you like it to be? When I say day, I mean day of the week. Alright, there we have it. Scandalous Shuffle with the Mario Party cards. There we have it. I may not have this available every stream, because I think I've shown you guys so many things that I don't have everything immediately available around here. So, February 29th, says E-Room. That means happens once every 4 years, except near years that are divisible by 100 as well. Alright, it looks like we have another request from Chan the Magic Man. Thanks for the request, Chan. Let's go ahead and set up for that. Okay. Let's see how well organized I am. Alster Art says, I've heard that if you're going to have a scandal, you should have it on a Friday because no one checks the news over the weekend, says Alster Art. That is an interesting theory. I don't know the proper day to call it or indicate, but Yeah, that sounds plausible. I believe there's actually an accepted pattern for people who lay other people off. And if you either fire people or lay people off on a Friday, there tends to be fewer incidents than if you do it during the week. So that's just kind of like the general thought process, I think, behind layoffs. All right, let me see. How do I want to do this? Very carefully. Okay. But yeah, so I think people who lay off, employers who tend to lay off, they tend to do it on Fridays. Because also you get the weekend to like chill out if you were suddenly angry, which I can totally understand. I have a lot of friends and like colleagues or former colleagues that the last couple of years has been brutal because I'm in software, so I totally understand. All right, so first things first, we have two piles. Each pile consists of four cards. One, two, three, four. I don't want to show you any of the cards in this pile, but I will show you all of the cards in this pile. And these are all black face cards. And so first things first, what we're going to do is I'm going to slowly swap cards between this pile and that pile, then show you all of the cards in this pile. And you try and figure out what the makeup of all of these cards, all 8 cards are. Whether they are there are red face cards, black face cards, red spot cards, black spot cards, anything like that. Okay, and the way that we'll make this fair is first we're going to go ahead and swap one card. So here we will take one from this pile, and then we're going to go ahead and show you everything in this pile. So here we go. Okay, now for the second phase, we're going to go ahead and trade 2 cards. So here we go, 2 cards. And we'll grab 2 from here. 1, 2. And once again, we'll show you all the cards here. And now we'll show you, we're going to swap 3. So there's 3. We're going to swap 1, 2, 3. Show you all the cards in this pile again. And then finally, we're going to swap 1 card. And we'll show you all of the cards in this pile. So the important question is, what is the makeup of all 8 of these cards? So I guess there are at least 4 black face cards because I'm showing them to you here. But I believe you saw lots of face cards, right? And they were maybe all black face cards. Um, well, guys, if you did not realize, there is an ending to this that only a few other people might guess, although a bunch of them are in chat right now. And Chan the Magic Man may be onto something because, hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. So here's my number. So call me maybe. And that, my friends, is the ending to an illogical conclusion. Chan guessed it. Call me maybe. Yeah, Chan sees me. Absolutely, guys. If you are also, if you guys have the "Call Me Maybe" emotes from Chris M. Yee, please spam them in chat. Certainly not what you guys expected, right? Unless you've seen this before, in which case, Chan knew. Chan knew what to expect. I, but here's my number. Okay, all right. So you may be correct, but when I wrote it down quickly, and I thought that's what the lyric was, and so I guess I could, get another card and write it out again. But I've already made these, so it's the same set. I mean, wait. Wouldn't it be logical if I got the lyrics correct? Here's the illogical conclusion. Incorrect lyrics. There we have it. And that's why. That's why it's illogical, because the lyrics are incorrect. Rare misprinted set, absolutely. That is that is how rare it is. It's so rare that nobody else in the world has it. Only I have this set in the world. All right. Let's see. If anybody's been sitting around for a while and you have not hydrated in a bit, please hydrate. I'm totally enjoying my peppermint cocoa tea. All right. Once again, queue is empty. If anybody would like to request anything, feel free. Chan says, I always know what's coming up unless you change it up. I mean, yeah, there are certain circumstances where I'm like, okay, I want to end it a certain way. And like, that worked out because I'm like, all right, I'm well organized. I know where the props are. Uh, if anybody is not aware, Chris M.Yi has that emote for the Call Me Maybe. And so Chris M.Yi was in here earlier. So, all right. Let's see. While we have a moment, I'm going to show off another card game thing that I used to like as a kid. I would still love it. I haven't played many games of it that I would like to play, but I recently purchased these, and I don't know how well they are going to be for Magic. But you've seen me use some Star Trek cards before. But let me show you this. So this is a very old product, and it's kind of heavy. It is Star Trek The Next Generation customizable card game by Decipher, limited edition collector's tin. And the tin opens like this, and there were only, I think, 100,000 of these made, and this copy happens to be 21,000. I think there were only no, sorry, no, there were 30,000 of these made, so way fewer than I thought. But anyway, for anybody who's a fan of Star Trek, this card game, this has the entire card list, and then there's 6 decks of cards, which is basically all of the cards that come with this. But let's see, Restless Lady. I guess if we can find some cards, so I want to open some of these and see if they would be appropriate to perform magic with, and if able, I may want to try the Restless Lady with some of these. Oh yeah, and this is an instruction booklet for the card game. But anyway, so yeah, I was actually thinking about doing a separate stream to like unbox this and appreciate it properly, but I was like, nah, I'm just gonna open them on stream, and also because I was running like later than I wanted to be today. But the best things are the pull tabs on these. So unfortunately, this was not brand new, brand new. They had opened that tin, but these cards are still packaged. So let's hope that these. Hold on. Oh man, I can't even find where the pull tab is for this. It does not look like there is a pull tab. Like the little strip is there, but there's nothing to pull. I don't want to damage these. I did pay a pretty penny, but it wasn't like that pricey compared to. It might have been really close to MSRP from when they originally sold these. But and then I got plus shipping, so I guess it was a little bit more. But all right, I'm just gonna open it from the top. All right, so for anybody who's familiar, here's Romulans. Here's some dilemmas. Okay, so the good news, bad news of this is that the good news, these are better quality than the original white bordered cards. So that's the good news. The bad news is that right now they all have a slight bend. They're all kind of warped a little bit. So maybe it won't be the perfect one. But, you know, how do the cards smell? Oh, Alstro art. Yes, that's a great question. Ugh. The cards smell like wonderful, brand new cards right out of a pack, right out of a box. And yeah, they smell good. If anybody is aware of collectible card game card smell, this smells it. Oh man. Okay. I'm gonna say because of the bend, we probably can't do the trick with them. All right. So, all right. I'll just quickly finish opening. Actually, you know what? I'll pause opening these. I'll do the trick, and then we'll get back to opening in a little bit. if there's time. Otherwise, I could just open it off stream. But did you reply to my last AMA about having any valuable game cards? If so, I missed it. I blame cats. Oh, um, no. The last thing. Oh wait, let me see. The last thing I see from you that was an official redeem was the Scandalous Shuffle, and then before that was the D&D. Uh, so I don't. Let me see. Did I miss something? Hold on. Did you get my last name about having any valuable game cards? If so, I missed it. I blame cats. I don't see it. Oh, okay, all right. Could you ask the question again, Eram? I think it didn't get. Yeah, I don't think it got. I was also just looking for a general question that maybe you just put in chat, but I didn't. Do you have any valid game cards that you know about? Oh, okay, okay. I see. For any game, I do know that I have some valuable cards for a bunch of card games. For example, Magic the Gathering, there are cards called Dual Lands that are worth a pretty penny. I do have some of those. Um, and I do have some cards in Magic the Gathering that were worth like, hundreds of dollars at one point. I don't know if they still are or if they've reprinted things out to wazoo, but for other card games like for Star Trek, there are some rare cards that were only printed like very few times, and you can't get them anymore. And then like the ability to acquire them is just limited to what has been printed. So those are kind of valuable, but not really like financially, just in the like collector's rarity kind of thing. So it's not really like, for example, there's a card called the Future Enterprise in this card game, in this Star Trek card game, and I have a couple of those, but I don't think they're worth more than like maybe $50 to $100, maybe. So yeah, I do have them, and actually, I honestly, if you take all of my valuable cards and put them together, they're probably worth more than like all of the technology in my house. Because like, if you just count my technology as like, you know, my computer, my TVs, my game systems, my cards are absolutely worth more money than um, than my technology in my house. Redeem email cards drawn. Oh yeah, yeah. Do you have any? Okay, okay, all right. That's weird. I don't. Yeah, I didn't see the cards AMA. But anyway, you can. Erum, you don't have to ask AMA. You can just ask them in chat, and I will. I'll answer. Alstro Art says dual lands are pretty high up there. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, Gibson Lens also has dual lands. I think I have maybe about 8 dual lands or so. How many dual lands do you have? Where was I? I'm trying to figure out where. Okay, here we go. And then we need a queen for the restless lady. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So here we have restless lady. E-Room says, I have a few valuable Joe Montana trading cards. None graded. My best card would probably be worth 15 to 25K if graded Gem Mint 10. The card is flawless, but I'm afraid to send it in. Oh, yeah. I would be afraid to send it in, too. It's tricky to count because I also have my friend's duels that he left here. I told him about them. Oh, okay. No worries on the AMA. I got points. All right, cool. Yeah, thanks. All right, so here we go. We have the 6, 7, 8, 9 of diamonds and the Queen of Spades. The Queen of Spades is our restless lady. So this restless lady wants to get in with all of the diamonds because, well, let's just face it. In this particular case, this particular lady, luckily this one is not signed because otherwise I'd be insulting whoever signed it. But this one is a gold digger. This one's actually not just digging for gold, digging specifically for valuable card game cards. She wants them Black Lotuses, those dual lands, those Power 9 in Magic the Gathering. But you give her a chance, and she's going to come back from here to here, and there she is. I know. She wants to be amongst all of these gold, all of these valuable cards. All right, but that's okay. We're gonna try and eject her out of the card store because she's just being extremely annoying about it. And you don't want to bother all of the other card players. However, you get to this point and you're like, hey, she, you can't really lock her out of the store, so she's gonna find a way to just come back into the store, and and I don't know if you know, but she has her ways of getting back into the store because look, I don't know if you can tell, but here she is. She's appeared back amongst all of the high-profile players in the store. But look, we're gonna try and take her out again, but all we have to do is just give her a chance to just find a way to connect with one of those players, and she's gonna gold dig for more valuable cards. And now, even if we try and get rid of her, I mean, look, she's gonna find a way to get on top of the situation. Because there she is. Gibson says, I have several mana vaults. They recently jumped to 70. Nice. All right. Now, however, this lady actually, over time, we find out that she's actually just been acquiring pieces of power and dual lands and getting her own collection of cards, and not really bothering anybody else. She really just wanted all those cards, and so if we just go back to confer with all of the players, all of the diamond players, with all their valuable cards. They're talking. It's like, oh hey, as it turns out, she wasn't really trying to take our cards. She just really wanted to get a collection of her own, and so she ended up becoming pretty cool. And here she is. She's actually become one of them. She's now invited to the group because she is now the queen of diamonds. And that, my friends, is Restless Lady, themed as a misunderstood collector. I guess it's probably the best thing I could do. Oh man, nice. You have several mana vaults. Yeah, yeah. So I have. Let me see. I have a handful of dual lands. I have a foil Tarmogoyf, which for a long time was like hundreds of dollars, and then they reprinted it, and now it's like no. I mean, it's still worth like it's probably like $50. Eroom says, nice, some high dollar ones in eBay. Yeah. Highest listed was 21K. One for 21K. Wow, that's insane. Yeah, I was never into trading cards because most trading cards are sports ball, and I'm not really into sports ball. However, there were trading cards for other things. One of my favorite things from a nerdy, geeky standpoint was if anybody is fan of the video game Final Fantasy VIII, there was a card game in Final Fantasy VIII called Triple Triad. That card game was the bomb. It was awesome. I loved it. And there were trading cards for Final Fantasy VIII that were released that also included Triple Triad cards. I bought a bunch of these. It was actually hard to get in the United States because it's basically just printed for Japan. And so my game store got it, and I was like, ooh, like when I say my game store, my video game store got it. And I bought some, but I was like in middle school with no like disposable income. So I had a very meager collection. And then I bought like a bunch of like the common stuff when I was like in college because I had a part-time job. I could afford stuff at that point. But I didn't have the entire collection at that point because there were some of those rare cards that were worth like at the time like a couple $100 a piece. I have acquired some of them over time, but there's still about 20-ish of them that I don't have for the original Triple Triad collection. And that's like something I would totally love to get my hands on, but I'm like I can't justify, $200 for a card. Um, so I found somebody in Etsy and they hand drew all of the Triple Triad cards, and I'm like I can support this artist so that I could have a physical card to play Triple Triad with. And so I supported the artist, and I got an entire set of cards. So I was like, all right, I'm happy. This will be fine. Like, oops, the other was only 20K. Yeah, yeah. In either case, like you've got some money on you, E-Room. I don't know if it's in like a safe, like fireproof box, but if it's not, you probably should keep it in a nice, safe place. Um, all right, let's see. Queue's empty. If anybody wants to request anything, feel free. I'm thinking about ending stream in about a half an hour, so feel free to request. In the interim, we still have a bunch more of these to open up. So let's go ahead and open another one up. I'm trying to find the one that has a lot of like main characters. Here, I'll show you the one that has Albert Einstein. Oh, I see the request, but let's. So this is the Albert Einstein character. If you guys are a fan of Star Trek, you'll know that Albert Einstein appeared in one episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation as a holographic holodeck character, and he was actually having a discussion with Sir Isaac Newton and Stephen Hawking, which actually was really Stephen Hawking as himself. But yeah, so here's Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Oh wait, Captain Jean-Luc Picard. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do something to flatten these out, and then all right. So all right, let's open one more, and then I will do three. Actually, can I? No, because these are not flat. That's why. Frolic Chris says, "Ooh, welcome in, Frolic Chris. How's it going?" And Alstro Art says, "Did they pay the Einstein estate for the appearance rights?" I mean, I have no idea. And to be fair, I don't know how rights work with like the likeness of a dead person at a time when like so I have no clue. I would guess no. So anyway, Frolic Chris, welcome in. How's it going? Today we are talking about nostalgic board games and card games that you played as a kid. I showed off a bunch on stream today. Actually, since you're into video games, I opened up Sonic X trading card games, cards. These are physically crappy, so it's not easy to do tricks with them. I showed off the Mario Party card game, which is these cards are for a card game, but you can also use them for your Game Boy Advanced e-reader. Ha, Sonic X, yeah. And then I was just showing off Star Trek customizable card game cards. And I bought them as part of the tin, if you were familiar with Decipher card games. So I got myself a tin. All right, now let me get ready for Three Travelers. Actually, let me think about which version of Three Travelers I want to do, and then we can do that one. Chan, I may try and surprise you. It may not be the original version of Three Travelers. So let's see if I can remember and figure out how to do it this way. How to do. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know about rights for people's likeness. I'm not even sure if it really looks like Albert Einstein, really. Like there's a look, there's like an Albert Einstein look that's generic and like stereotypical, and as far as I know, I don't think that looks exactly like him. So it's just kind of yeah. Okay, let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. All right. Okay. Frolic Chris says thinking. Oh yeah, thanks for giving Frolic Chris a follow, guys. Guys, we're now following our friend Frolic Chris. Frolic Chris, pianist, also plays a lot of JRPGs on stream as well, and so also Frolic Chris played at VGM Con last year. So welcome in, Durkee Blaine. How's it going? How do you do? E-Room says the Montana card was placed into a hold it 30 seconds after my buddy ripped it from a pack. Awesome. He gave it to me because I collect Montana cards. That was 97. Since then, the case it's been in has been sealed in 3 plastic bags and stored in a box. Since 97, the card has only seen the light of day about 4 to 5 times for as long as it takes pick. Yeah. Oh man. You probably need to get that like insured. E-Room says, I've had a $2,500 offer on it unseen. I told him no. Okay. One of our other mods also mentioned that game. Oh, yeah, yeah. Mills Born? Oh, Frolic Chris, you also are aware of Mills Born? That's crazy. All right, so I almost have to find my cards now. So I mentioned earlier that I'm not too familiar with how the game plays, but I have cards for it. I've never really played it, and so but I have them. So maybe I should just go find them. But yeah, I know that conceptually it's like you're trying to go like a certain distance before everybody else, and you can play distance cards. Then you can play gas, and you can play like things to stop other people, like that flat tire, right? So that's crazy. That's so funny that Mills Born. Like I would have never expected anybody to mention that more than once, if at all. But and now that's like the most the most mentioned game technically, right? Let's see. Turkey Blaine says, relaxing in bed, ready to crash soon. Yeah, thanks, Crazy Asian. I hope to see you at VGMCon this year. Yeah, I'm not sure what my other ones are. I'm gonna wait until I'm done with my Magic convention in January, and then we'll we'll see what I can do. It's fun. All right, awesome, cool. Right. All right, glorious. Okay, so next up we have a trick. I may do one variation that might be different, or I might do this. I'm trying to basically fool Chan, but I think Chan's got it. So, and you can get invincibility, like your tires are invincible. What? Tires are not invincible. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna have to find my cards and read the rules and figure that out. All right, so here we have some cards. We have 3, 2, and ace of spades. So we're going to go ahead and leave the 3 right here. We're going to leave the 2 right here. And then we're going to leave the ace right here. All right, first things first, I'm going to place this whole deck on top of the ace. And if we press the elevator button, wait for a second, that ace will come back up all the way to the top. Here's that ace. Now, if we take the 2, we place it on the top, we press the elevator button, that's going to make the 2 go from the top all the way down to the bottom. And by the way, join us in following Chris ME. Chris ME, look, there's a card. This says Chris ME on it. Amazing. Hey, thanks for the ding, Chan. What impeccable timing that was. That was amazing. Okay, but here, we'll place the 2 there, and then finally we have the 3 here. And look, all I have to do is just shake. If I just shake the 3 of spades, it becomes the 3 of hearts. But I really need these 3 cards to match. So if I just go ahead and use the 3 of hearts, and I tap it on the 2 of spades, it becomes the 2 of hearts. And if I use the 2 of hearts and just tap against the ace of hearts, or sorry, ace of spades, it becomes the ace of hearts. And that, my friends, is 3 billboards version of 3 travelers. Let's see. Astro Art says, this isn't a board game, but does anyone here remember playing Little Fighter 2? Is that a video game? I don't know. I'm not familiar with Little Fighter 2. Frolic Chris says, childhood game, Old Maid, like all those decks that were just for Old Maid. Yeah, man, that bothers me a little bit, but now that I have tons of card games that are specifically only for its game, I'm like, I guess they were kind of ahead of their time, and it's just like, okay. I mean, Old Maid is basically just a memory game. Thank you kindly for all the emotes and claps. E-Room, Alstro Art, Chan the Magic Man. Thank you kindly for all the emotes, claps, and applause. Let's see here. Yeah, Little Fighter 2 is a video game. I thought the people here might fit the demographic who it was popular with. I mean, I might have liked it. I may not have had access to it. Like, what console was it for? Or was it for PC? Was it a fighter game? Was it like a role playing game? I don't, okay, it's PC. All right, let's see. And then next up, we have a request for Jazz Aces. Let me get ready for Jazz Aces. All right, I'm gonna have to look. You know what? I'm going to make note of Little Fighter 2. I'm gonna look this up later, as I'm curious now. Let's see notes. All right, look up video game Little Fighter 2. Okay, cool. Let's see. It says yeah, it's local two-player, or there's like one-player campaign, or you can play versus computer. Oh, okay, interesting. All right, let's see. Next up, we have Jazz Aces. Oh, so actually, I saw a version of this trick literally last night that was done differently than how I would normally do it. I was wondering if I should try it. I mean, maybe I shouldn't try it without practicing it, I guess. So, all right. Eroom says, games aside, who had a big wheel? You talk about freedom for a 4-year-old. I could finally go to the end of the block on the sidewalk and my parents watch me. Lol. When you say a big wheel, like you mean like big wheels, like the vehicles, or you're talking about like a large wheel that the kid would enter, like a Zorb, except just a wheel instead of like a three-dimensional Zorb. All right, so we have 8 cards here. We've got the 4 queens and the 4 aces. All right, and so here's what we want to do. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave the 1, 2, 3, 4 queens over here for a second, and then here we've got the ace, 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 and so I'm gonna go ahead and start over. All right. Chris says there was another card game where you'd make stacks and count the stacks up to like 15 or something and had to finish your stacks first. Oh, Frolic Chris, if it was a regular card game using playing cards, there was a card game that I liked called Spit, and you had a bunch of piles. I don't think it was 15 though, but you would get rid of all of your cards onto a couple of piles as fast as you could. Yes, you ride the plastic big wheels. Oh, okay, yeah. I never had big wheels, but my friends did. I was a little bit jealous, and then I realized that it didn't really matter. So, okay, man, all this board game talk making me mess up my magic tricks. All right, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and mulligan that. Here we go. Okay, all right. Where were we? Here we go. We've got our 4 queens, 4 aces, and here's what we're gonna do. We're going to hold our queens over here, and then we're going to go ahead and we have our aces over here. And I'm going to go ahead and leave the ace of spades down here as our leader ace. That's where we're going to try and collect all of these aces. And I'm just going to go ahead and place these aces out like that. And we have all of our queens here, right? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and leave just a queen down here with the ace of spades. And we're going to try and swap this ace with that queen as such. I don't know if you saw it, but look. All the queens are over here, and that ace has hopped down here. All right. Once again, let's go ahead and place a queen down here. And we're going to grab this ace, and we'll place it right there. And actually, all we need to do is, that's going to swap this ace, or this queen with an ace. So now that's an ace, and the queen is over here. So look, queens and ace. And then finally, let's place one final queen over here. Take this ace, place it in here, And once again, we'll do that swap one more time. And if we take a look, all these are queens, and our final ace has jumped down here. And that, my friends, is Jazz Aces. Big wheels greater than Monopoly. Lol, says E-Room. Probably Chris says, I had a big wheel, humble brag, or whatever. Man. Thank you kindly for the claps. Alstro Art, Gibson Lens, Chan the Magic Man, Jazz. That's right, says Hawk6. Thanks for clearing that, Chan. Thank you kindly for the claps. E-Room, Charlie. All right. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to do last call. If anybody wants to request anything, feel free. Last chance to request something for today. And then in the interim, let's open up another one of these. And then we'll go from there. But presuming that everything goes well and I don't mess up the finale trick, I will. So yeah, we'll finish out the queue. Oh, I see the request for a red packet, black packet. All right, so we'll do that. We'll finish out the queue, and then we'll do a disclaimer, and then we'll do a finale trick, and then we'll find somebody to raid. So that's the plan. So yeah, here's Albert Einstein. Ta-da! I have no idea what order these are in. I don't know why they're in such a random order. It does not look like that they would be in like a deck order, because there's cards that are mixed affiliation. So like Federation can't inherently work with Romulans or Klingons without a treaty in this game. So treaty is just a special card that you lay out ahead of time. So it's like it takes up a slot for another card that could be useful, but it allows you to work together. All right. Let's see. Red packet, black packet, says E-Room. Oh, hold on. Currently number 1. Did you not want to request that, E-Room? I wouldn't know the names of them, but do you have any tricks where chat picks a card? If so, do one of them instead of red packet. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, we can have a card pick. I mean, we can do that one too. It's all right. Let's see here. Where's one where chat can pick a card? I would say this one. All right. Okay, let me move these off for a second, and then hold on here. Let me go ahead and find where this is. Okay, all right, there we go. All right, E-Room. So we'll do Chicago opener for the picking a card, and then we will still do red packet, black packet, and then we'll go from there. All right, cool, excellent. So, here we go. First things first, we will need a card selected. So, I'm going to go ahead and spread. And if anybody, actually E-Room, if you would like to select a card, you can go ahead and click directly on the screen. And that should select one of these cards. We'll be able to see it with a heat map. Okay, so let's see. I'm seeing that as that was, I think it was this card. Okay, all right. So, all right, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and close my eyes, turn my head, cough, And I'll flip over the card. You guys take a look. Make sure you remember what it is. Leave it there for a second. Make sure you can see it if it's not like glary. Okay, hopefully somebody's got it. I'm gonna turn it face down. Opening my eyes, turning, looking back. All right, excellent. Okay, let's go ahead and hide this in the deck here. So no breaks, no nothing. Can't keep track of it. It is lost. Okay, and now here, this is what we're going to do. Let me eat this heat map, actually. Delicious. All right. We are now going to go ahead and use our magical powers of card game mastery, and I'm going to go ahead and turn that card of yours to be red backed. I don't know if you can see it. It is just barely peeking out because look, there it is. So important question. E-Room, you said you got it, right? Go ahead and tell us what card it was. Which card was this? And I'll show you you're correct. Unless you're lying to me, in which case, I'll know. Ace of Spades. Was this the Ace of Spades? Indeed, it was the Ace of Spades. That is correct. Okay. All right. So now let's go ahead and do this again. We will need a second card picked. Go ahead and, you know what? Let me just lay these down like this. Go ahead and click. This one's a little bit more messy, but that's okay. Go ahead and click directly on one of these. That will be the card for the new selection. Red Bean Bitter Cream, welcome in, blammo. So yeah, E-Room, go ahead and click directly on the screen. Select another card. But welcome in. And let me know if it's not working. It should be working. I think it's on. I think heat map's on. Right? Hold on. I did? I don't see it. Hold on. I can click on my head. That's me. Oh, it didn't work? Huh. Okay, that's weird. Let me refresh it. And then, let's see, refresh. Okay. All right, try it again, E-Room. There we go. Okay. So I can see it here. Wow, that's kind of like a long ways down. All right, so this is the one. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and show you this card that now you've selected. Okay. Closing my eyes, turning my head, coughing. Hopefully you have a chance to see it and remember it. Okay, I'm now going to turn it face down. Okay, we got it. All right, looks like E-Room's got it. And now, once again, we're going to go ahead and turn your card red. Hold on, is it hiding again? No, wait, I'm not seeing one this time. You know, guys, when I mess up a trick, the way that I get out of it is that I have the true magical talent of the stream up here. If you guys didn't know, the true magical talent of the stream for this stream is the deck sock. All right, if you guys have the emotes, feel free to to put it in chat. But when I mess up a trick, this deck sock will save me. All right, deck sock, go ahead and do your magic. Somehow fix this for me so I don't embarrass myself in front of my friends. Okay. All right, ready? Here we go. Spreading the deck. Nope. Still don't see a red card. Actually, the deck sock says there is a red card. It's this one. But wait, wasn't that the Ace of Spades? Hold on. E-Room, what was the card? What was your second selection? Eight, eight of spades. Okay, all right. Deck sock says flip this over. Eight of spades. And that, my friends, we'll call a successful performance of Chicago opener. Thank you kindly for the claps. E-Room, Alstro Art, Chan the Magic Man. Nice one. Thank you kindly for the requests. All hail the deck sock. Yes, hail the deck sock. Deck sock, take a bow. Whew. Guys, I don't know about you, but deck sock looks so cute. All right. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and do this next one. Give me a second here. All right. We're going to go ahead and have this, do that, have this. Hey, hey, E-Room, thank you for the bang. If I was not awake before, I'm certainly going to be awake now. You know, there's nothing like a gunshot to get the adrenaline going. I mean, E-Room just likes to get all the bangs in on stream, right? All right. Okay. So, finally get to Red Bean Bitter Cream says finally get to see you see this done ever since Granny talked all about you. Oh, thanks for stopping by and coming over from I assume Granny Q. I don't know too many other grannies that are referred to as Granny on Twitch, so I assume it's Granny Q. But thanks for stopping by. Yeah, so we're kind of close to the end of stream, but we're gonna do this trick. I may do one other one, and then I'll do my outro, and then we do one finale trick. Which, if I don't mess up, then that'll be the finale. But if it's more than one, yeah. So, but yeah, we have an entire stream. If you want to refer back to it, I have a ton of YouTube stuff. We'll talk about that during my outro. But anyway, all right. So this trick is called red packet, black packet. So we've got 8 cards. So here I just want to show you that we've got black spot cards. Okay, so I'm going to place these black spot cards out like this, and so we're just going to go ahead and place our black spot cards down here. And then over here we have red face cards. And so here's our red face cards. Okay, now what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and swap one of these red face cards with a black spot card. So we're just going to go ahead and scoop this up. And I don't know if you can see, but you won't be able to see the black spot card. So here, if I show you, look, these are all red face cards still. It's okay, we're going to do it again. Break a rule of magic, doing it again. Here we'll scoop up a black spot card, place that amongst here, but look, you won't be able to see any red face cards, because look. I know, super weird, right? Super weird. That's okay. Some people think that I have to do this one card at a time, but I can actually do them 2 at a time. So we'll do the last 2. I'm going to scoop up these last black spot cards. If I snap. Now if I show you, look, they're all still going to look like red face cards, right? They're all still red face cards. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? Now, here's the funniest thing. A lot of people I would now ask, hey, where are the black spot cards? A lot of people would guess here, but actually, you may or may not know that, you know, Chan the Magic Man has a guess. All right, Chan. All right, tell you what. So here's what's actually on these cards. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. So here's my number, so call me maybe. And that, my friends, red packet, black packet, with a call me maybe kicker. I gotta spam the emotes when we got 2 in a row, said Chan. You know what, Chan? You didn't expect it, did ya? Got him. Oh man, can't be that predictable, right? All right. Let's see. Thank you kindly for the claps and the emotes. E-Room, Gibson Lens, Chan the Magic Man. Thanks for clearing that, Chan. All right. Okay. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's close the queue. I want to put in coin matrix, and then I will put in, what am I feeling like? I'm feeling like dazed. So we'll finish with dazed this week. Okay, and then that will probably be a good stream, we'll call it. Alright, so let me first look for this. And the reason why I'm doing coin matrix, if anybody doesn't know, is that I mostly do card magic, but I like this trick so much that I want to keep it like fresh, so I try and do this basically every stream. Sometimes I forget, but for the most part, it's okay. Yeah, your shelf is tilted. Yes, that is absolutely true. So this shelf, actually, hold on. Let me see if I can hide chat for a second. Uh, so this shelf is actually stuck into another shelf and is not part of it, and it's just a board, and it is being held down by the massive weight of card boxes, and that's basically what's keeping this like uh up. And so yes, I know my shelf is tilted. It is intended. So thanks for letting me know though, Alstro Art. Appreciated. All right, let's see. Where were we? Oh yes. So we're going to be doing the coin matrix. All right, so this will require 4 coins. Okay, I thought it was less tilted earlier. Oh, it may or may not have been. So all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and place these 4 coins into four corners of like a rectangle. I'm gonna go ahead. E-Room says that is so hillbilly. I love it. Yeah, I mean, look, I like anybody else can't afford all of the best shelves in the world. So I'm just gonna do what I want to do to just get it up and running, and there we go. That's what it is. All right, cool. So what I'm going to do with this trick is I'm gonna make these coins jump from corner to corner magically, or teleport them, transport them like in Star Trek. So watch, it happens quick. I'm going to make this one go from here to here. Ready? Hey, thanks for that transporter. That's where it went. So now we're going to make this one jump from here all the way up there. And look, there's 3 up there. And now we're going to make this last one jump. And finally, there we go. Thank you kindly for that transporter, E-Room. All right. Man, you guys... Thank you kindly for the transport. Man, you guys are on point with the sound redeems today. So, thank you. Thank you kindly for the claps. Alstro Art, E-Room, Chan the Magic Man. Thanks, guys. All right. So, with that, all right, so we've got Dazed, and now we'll do the outro. So, all right. So, we are going to go ahead and wrap up stream. So, anyway, thank you, everybody who came out to hang out with me tonight. I know that everybody's busy. People are probably recovering because like it got darker earlier, like this past week. And I know people in the United States, some of us may have suffered some political damage. And so thank you so much for everybody who decided to come out and hang out with me tonight. Thank you so much if you interacted with the stream. Thanks to everybody whether you chatted, clicked on the heat map, selected a card, put emotes in the chat, requested a trick. If it wasn't for you guys, this wouldn't be as much fun for me. So thank you all. I had a great time tonight, so thank you. Thank you to all the lurkers out there. Magic is one of the rare art forms in which if I am practicing magic at home, there's no magic happening. The magic has to happen in your mind. Everything that you see here today is sleight of hand magic. So everything that you see here, it's not black magic or sorcery or deals with the devil. Everything is achievable with sleight of hand magic. And if it was real magic, I would claim this anyway. So, uh, thank you, Peekaboo Draws. You're welcome. Were you lurking, Peekaboo Draws? Guys, if you're not following our friend Peekaboo Draws, please give Peekaboo Draws a follow. Peekaboo Draws is an artist. I was actually able to properly hang out with Peekaboo Draws last week, so. But yeah, please get and Peekaboo Draws is also a strong supporter of the Twitch Magic community, so definitely give Peekaboo Draws. I'm a lurker. All right, you be a lurker. I mean, I'm not lurker shunning, so Lord knows that I lurk in a bunch of other people's streams. All right, next up, yeah, mod love. If anybody is not following our mods, please give our mods some mod love. We saw all of our mods today. If you are not familiar, please give our mods. So let's start with the Rusty Panda. Guys, you're not following our friend the Rusty Panda. Please give the Rusty Panda a follow. The Rusty Panda, singer-songwriter, but also does an interview stream on Wednesdays, normally called Wiki Wednesdays. It's actually a really unique interview stream, so please give the Rusty Panda a follow. Also, if you're not following our friend and mod, Chan the Magic Man, please give Chan the Magic Man a follow. Chan the Magic Man, one of the other few magicians that has a regular magic schedule. He also uses StreamerSonglist for his tricks, and he also writes music. So if you like funky music, definitely give Chan the Magic Man a follow. He normally does Magic Mondays, and so definitely give Chan the Magic Man a follow. And also, if you're not giving our friend and mod Bert, aka Gibson Lens, a follow, please give Gibson Lens a follow. Plays piano. Will oftentimes play music from his song list, sight reads from songbooks that he owns, also has composed a bunch of his own originals, but lately we've also been talking about movies, which Gibson Lens will watch a bunch of movies. They're all old or considered classics, and then he reviews them on stream, but we try and guess whether he likes them or not. So, and that is, and yeah, so give all of our mods follows and love. Thank you guys so much. And let's see. Other than that, if you want to see more of me and I am not around, all of my VODs are on maximum retention on Twitch, so you can check them out there. Otherwise, you can check out my YouTube. Oh, thanks for getting my YouTube. So I have over 200, almost 290 magic performances recorded and posted on my YouTube, so you check those out. There's like hours and hours of magic. Also, you can check out my VODs, which are also on my channel. That you can't search through them, so you can only find them through this playlist. So definitely, if you want to check out old VODs, that's the place to go. All right. And then finally, we have our finale trick. So for those of you who don't know, if I mess this trick up, I don't want to end on a trick that I mess up on. So we'll do another one if I mess this up. But if it's successful, then we'll find something to raid. All right, cool, excellent. Other than that, thank you everybody for coming out, and let's get to our finale trick. All right, so I have this packet of cards. So we've got a 6 of diamonds here. We've got a queen of clubs here. And then I've got 4 other cards in this pile, but when I go through this pile, they're a little bit interesting. So here we've got, so there's nothing weird when we look at them from this side, but when I flip them over, you're going to see that their backs on the same, so there's backs on both sides. Actually, all of them except for this one. This one's super weird. So yeah, so there's that. Now, so with the rest of these cards, if I show you, these have a really strange property. If I actually hover them and reflect them over, like let's say the 6 of diamonds, right? So here, if I just hover it over the 6 of diamonds, I don't know if you know, but all of these cards are actually going to turn into. Hold on. What did I just do here? I meant to do this. All right, all of these cards. Anyway, I didn't reveal a secret of magic, but I was just like, wait, do I need to start over? I'm just going to go with it. All of these cards change into 6 of diamonds. Yeah, so Is that weird? That's super weird, right? Now, that in and of itself may not be that magical. Not until I reflect the packet over the Queen of Clubs. And I don't know if you know, but just by reflecting, we saw nothing, says Peekaboo Draws. I think you also saw nothing. Yeah, that's right. But anyway, but look, if I show you, all of the cards are actually now Queens of Clubs. See? Is that weird? That's super weird, right? That should not happen. That's a little bit weird. Um, but you can also still see that they're Queens of Clubs right now. But actually, let me take this weird card that is blank on this side. This is like how the cards look before they print a face on them. But they know what the backs are going to look like because all the backs look the same. But as soon as I turn this face up, all of the cards become blank. And this is the weird part, right? Is that weird? That's super weird, right? And I know that there's some people who are like, whoa, 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 Nom, I now need to see the backs of all those cards. And to that, I would say sure. Because look, here's all four backs of all those cards. And that is, I would call a mediocrely successful. It's not my best performance, only because of that little jumble. But otherwise, I think it worked out fine. uh, we saw nothing. You saw nothing. That's right. It's okay. Roll with the punches. I don't know if anybody's into boxing, but they say roll with the punches. Why is that? Well, if anybody's familiar with like the physics concept of kinetic chaining, that's kind of like what the power of a boxer doesn't come just from their hand or their arm. It actually comes from the ground. It goes through their entire body. That's kinetic chaining, right? And so when you roll with the punches, though, you're actually increasing the time of impact so that you don't take as much damage. Kind of like how airbags work in cars. But anyway, I digress. I don't know why this became like a science physics thing. Anyway, thank you kindly for the claps. Gibson Lens, Alstro Arts, E-Room, thanks for the applause. Red Bean, Bitter Cream, man, you got a great name. It rolls off the tongue. Red Bean, Bitter Cream. Like it sounds, it's so, yeah, it sounds so nice. Let's see. Alstro Art says, "Are you excited for Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson?" I mean, so here's the thing. I like the idea of boxing as like a sport and like watching a good match. And I know that Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, two very famous boxers. I'm just not really into like the history or like reputation of boxers, right? Like they're not like I don't really I would not pay the money to see that game, basically. So, but I mean, I don't know. It could if I could watch it for free, I would totally watch it. But if I have to pay a large sum of money to watch, I probably won't watch it. But like, yeah, I like watching a good game, and I like watching like good sports. But like, I don't care about the history of people or the drama around or the politics of sports. Like, that's just not for me. So, but yeah. But no, as you can tell, like for me talking about some sports things, I love like so I'm not into like for example, NASCAR, like the histories of companies, even though I know that that's sometimes very important for, but I'm just like, I want to watch a good race. And even though it's mostly boring, but like, you know, it's okay. It's okay. I can enjoy it. Elstro Art says, I don't really know any famous current generation boxers like Pacquiao or Mayweather were also super famous, but I don't know any current. But yeah, I mean, I don't know current boxers. To be fair, I didn't really know past boxers, honestly. But anyway, okay, I digress. Wonderful conversations with everybody today. Mostly good tricks with some random stuff. I probably messed up a little bit more than usual, but nothing that I would say was too egregious, I think. Um, so, all right, let's go find somebody to raid. For anybody who is not aware, I normally like to raid out to a Twitch friend. And if there aren't any Twitch friends, we'll raid out somebody new. So that's the plan. Let's see who's available, and let's see who I haven't rated in a while or have never rated before. Um, I do like to raid Twitch musicians because the whole magic is a performance art, music is performance art. But I've rated like video gamers and just other friends just chatting and stuff. So Let's see. You know who we haven't. Um, Let me see here. Good night. Thanks for the stream. Yes. Thank you kindly for hanging out and chatting and so. But and you're welcome for this stream. My pleasure. Yeah. As long as I'm having fun, I will keep on doing this because it is really a good check-in for me for my magic. So um, I haven't practiced as much magic in a typical week as I used to, and so having this check-in forces me to be like, "Yo, you better still know how to do this check." I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right." Before chat, I'll embarrass myself, right? Okay, I'm just gonna quickly check my spreadsheet and see when the last time we rated this person. And let me see here. Okay, it has been 3 months since we rated this person, so maybe we're gonna rate this person. Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right, guys. All right. So, oh, actually, let me click on their stream and make sure that they're not leaving immediately, because that would be horrible. Let me see. Let's see, they've been going for. Come on, give me the time. 30 minutes. All right. Perfect. All right, guys, we're gonna be heading over to our friend the Keyboard Grinders stream. If you aren't familiar, the keyboard grinder grinds keyboards. I mean, not literally grinds. He plays on them. And so I just realized I probably should have done the rating. But yeah, please copy one of the raid calls if you want to participate in the raid. Um, and so yeah, the keyboard grinder, his name is Winston. He plays keyboards, and he also will stream live gigs. But today he's taking music. So you knew it. All right, I have no doubt that you knew it. But yeah, we actually haven't raided Winston in a while. So all right, let's go ahead and raid the key. Oh, I just realized I copied my raid call already. Keyboard grinder. All right. All right. Ah. All right. Excellent. So anyway, thank you everybody for coming by, hanging out. I had a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys had a lot of fun too. We reminisced about a lot of card games and board games tonight, so that was awesome. I'm gonna try and come up with other questions for fun talk discussions because this was really good. But otherwise, everybody take care of yourselves. Remember to hydrate. Remember to stretch. And otherwise, we will see you around hopefully. And take care. Bye.